A daily graphic, Agenda 111 hospital project takes off. Trade, community first beneficiary. Special anti-robbery squad for Eastern Bono and Bono East regions. Also, kissing priest asked to step aside. And I say I like the swiftness with which the Anglican Church acted on this yesterday. Work on Sekedi Takrady interchange begins. And can Angela Oforiatta build flats for doctors? What does the Ghanaian Times say? It says government rolls out Agenda 111 initiative as president cuts short for construction of 111 hospitals nationwide. Also, bust overruns budget by 30,444,551 due to unplanned activities in 2019. That's according to the Auditor General's reports. Shocking. Presby Church takes stand against LGBTQI+, vows to sever relationship with churches, groups that allow gay practices. And Anglican priest lands in hot water over holy kissing. And Ghana's quest for world-class TVET hub taking shape, Dr. Che Samwa. The BNFT, huge gap between Bank of Ghana's rate and lending rate baffling. Senior advisor to the president. $330 million Buankra Port Enclave lands under siege by encroachers. Nuclear power would accelerate the African Continental Free Trade Area prospects, according to the MPG Executive Director. Government begins 2022 budget preparation, focuses on revitalizing and transforming the economy, targets total revenue and grants at 89.1 billion Ghana cedis for 2022, and total expenditure is projected for 128.3 billion Ghana cedis. Overall budget deficit is projected at 7.9%. Daily Guide. GNPC Auditor General clash over report. Opposition not for fighting Bagbin. And kissing Anglican priest fired. That's Venerable, I'm told. Venerable Balthazar Obeng Labi is his name, and he's been asked to step aside. Agenda 111 takes off for health jobs. And also, Republic Press, sexy priest in trouble for kissing Anglican girls. Roads destroyed by floods will be giving emergency attention, according to Minister. An LGBTQ plus bill will endanger lives. Amnesty International called for broader consultation. While we wait for the second reading, and I'm sure Amnesty International can put it in writing and send a memorandum to Parliament. Dom Level will be killed if he decides to audit the Catholic Church, according to a priest. $16.88 million Agenda 111 project takes off in Ashanti region. Mahama bounces back with a thank you tour. The Finder newspaper is the last one. Anglican priest who kissed students relieved of his duties. Street lighting is critical to reducing road accidents and crimes at night, according to the National Road Safety Authority. Ekufuado's 111 new hospitals takes off. It's the biggest health infrastructure drive in Ghana. And NAFCO only dealing with registered suppliers since 2018, according to the CEO. My guest this morning, Richard Asante-Yeboah. He is the government spokesperson on infrastructure, and also lawyer Eduji Godwin Tanaklo. He is a member of the NDC's communication and legal team. Gentlemen, welcome. Thank you very much for joining us.
Good morning.
How are you doing?
Good morning.
Okay, so this morning, Labour has served notice that they were going to hit the streets. AJ, show the footage one more time. As at some 20 minutes to 6 when I was out there, this was what Labour had come out, to demonstrate. Nobody was there, but I saw 5 policemen there wearing their masks. So try and connect with the convener and ask them why they told us that the thing will start at 5, but as of 20 minutes to 6, when I went there to check, this was it. Richard, your thoughts? They're asking for 4%, more than 4%, and they are not there.
Good morning, my brother, and good morning to my brother. I think it's been some time now. I do believe that in participatory democracy is within the right of every Tom, Dick, and Harry within the confines of this country who thinks that there are issues that he wants to either demonstrate to applaud or appreciate what is being done by government or any institution or any group of individuals, or to go on demonstration to draw attention of officialdom to certain issues that ought to be dealt with by the state. It is within the right of everybody. And as such, if somebody wants to go on demonstration for whatever reasons it is, we want to say that, I mean, it's within the laws for such people, so long as they give the relevant notice to the police and the various security agencies to make sure they provide them the relevant security to shepherd them in their movement and also in their dealings. As we speak, I think you said, and we also heard that some people would want to embark on demonstration.
Right.
And their cry is that they do believe that they think that the negotiation that was held between government and the leadership of the trade union congress and other worker organizations, they are not excited about it. They think that they would love to have more in that regard. But you see that we are not in normal times, and I think government has indicated this clearly to our brothers and sisters who are working for government in various fields. And what has been the government communication over the period is that, I mean, looking at what we have in the national kitty, I tell you, in the period of the COVID, particularly during the period of shutdown in 2020, the sort of challenge that the economy had to go through. I'd sit here and I would be glad to let you know that in terms of the Ghana economy, the total tax revenue that we reaping as a country, about 88% of it come from Greater Accra. Then we have about 6 coming from the Eastern region, which is the second, and then the Ashanti region follows up, and the remaining follows up. So it tells you that everything that makes Ghana moves, a chunk of it revolves around Accra in terms of tax revenues. So when you have a country in distress because of COVID, and this is not something that was peculiar to Ghana, we have a good number of countries across the world that went through this. A lot of economies were in recession, but Ghana were able to go through this process. In this period, government find means of shouldering or providing some level of comfort for everybody within this country, including workers. We have free water being given to assist electricity, free electricity being given to assist even certain workers, particularly within the health.
Were they free?
Government paid for it. I'm not sure nobody.
I'm sure the people are paying for it. Kojo was specific.
He told you that he was misquoted in that particular conversation.
In a video,
he never said that we are going to pay for it later on. He said that whatever is being paid for by government, in actual fact, what you need to understand as a population is that it is the state's money that is being used to pay. So we all pay for whatever.
So it is not free.
For instance, when you talk about free education, we know that parents are not paying school fees. They are not paying boarding fees. They are not paying food feeding. They are not paying for examination fees and all those things. But the overall understanding is that it is the government. If government is paying for all these things, it means that it is the money that belongs to me and you, including tax revenue.
I pray that you hold on a bit for me. Let's connect with Mr. Norbert Bobochi. He is one of the leaders of the Labour Front who had planned to hold the demonstration this morning against what they call a 4% increment. That they are not satisfied with. Norbert, good morning. Thank you very much for your time. How are you doing?
Your voice is very faint. I can hardly hear you due to the noisy.
Sorry, Norbert, good morning. Can you hear me? How are you?
Hello?
Hello, Norbert. Good morning. How are you, Mr. Bobochi?
I can hardly hear you, please.
Now, where are you now, presently?
We are at the police station opposite of that spot.
Okay.
That is where we are gathering now. We were just informed this morning that we couldn't gather at our black spot due to 1 or 2 reasons. Those reasons haven't been explained to us, but we think that will not hinder the progress of what we want to do this morning.
Who informed you that you cannot gather in front of the brass spot as agreed with the police? Who informed you that you cannot gather at the Obra spot because you agreed with the police yesterday?
The security officer that is manning the place. And he is saying that until we have a notification from the DNI or the district assembly, or he has orders from them, we cannot gather there.
I see. So this flies in contrary to the agreement you had with the police yesterday, because we also read the statement from the police signed by DSP Juliana Obeng stating that you start from the Obra spot, go through Farisco.
That place is for us. That that we can use at any point in time. And we need no permission from anybody. But we are surprised we've been told this morning that that is the procedure.
I see.
And by the way he was speaking to us, he was trying to tell us that an arrangement should have been done about a week or two ago.
As of 20 minutes to 6, when I came there to the brass spot, I saw 5 police women. But I didn't see anybody wearing a red outfit suggesting that some of your members were out there. What's your response?
Oh, I am here. Members are here. And the fact is that this is not any other group but workers. And you wouldn't have workers gathering as early as 5:30 a.m. to demonstrate. No, we gave 8 and we will move at 9. So by 8, we are sure we should have that number. So if cameras have been here at 5:30 and they captured no one, I was the only one here by then.
But your flyer says you will start at 5 a.m., correct?
There were so many flyers out there. The official one doesn't state 5 a.m., please.
So how many people do you have there with you now?
Oh, if I count, we should be just a little about 20.
I thank you very much. We'll come back to you, Mr. Norbert Bobochi, for thank you for the information. Grateful that you could join us. Eduji, so this.
I was.
No, but I think that you are now stretching the conversation to explain to me.
No.
Let's deal with that. Let's deal with the
Let me. Okay. That would be very unfair.
Okay.
You asked for a bit of a time you give me. Obviously, it's your time you give me. So let me
wrap up for me then.
So my point has been that government has been fair with workers. I mean, we all understand the challenges that we have. I think the difficulty people need to appreciate is that, particularly within the period of COVID, when we needed to do some level of shift system, when some had to be in the house and others, and even sometimes we're not even going to work at all, and all those things, the sort of productivity that government or we saw in every institution, as a private businessman, I was hugely affected, because you cannot get the same revenues if people come in and spend like 3 hours at work or 2 hours at work, and some are in the house, which you cannot really even check. Meet people.
Bottom line is, I don't want us to spend all the time on this matter.
But yet, no revenues of any public servant or any public worker was salary was either reduced or suspended or any of these sorts. Government was consistent in terms of payment, and I think that when I was making those points about some of the things that government did during those moments, and the sort of buffer government provided for families and individuals, my intention is to let people understand that for those top-up measures and also policies given out by government, these hardship that people would want to talk about would have been compounded. Okay. But because of some of the innovative measures that have been put together,
I think that your point has been grateful. I don't want us to spend all the time on this one, because we want to talk about 111 extensively. Council, so you heard Mr. Bobochi. He says that the flyers we saw properly doesn't represent what they wanted, but no worker would gather at 5 a.m. or 5:30. They gave 8, they'll move at 9. They are now a little above 20. He was the only one there as of that early when I went there. What do you say?
Yes, Johnny, good morning to your viewers. And I strongly believe that the right to demonstrate is not a right to demonstrate in numbers. It can even be one. What is critical is the message the person is sending. And in this case, workers of Ghana are saying that they do not understand why the president from 2017 to 2019 put up an emolument committee. That emolument committee had recommended payment of how much the president, his ministers, and Article 71 office holders should be paid. And they are being paid over 70% salary increases.
But that's not.
Please, calm down.
Hold on for me. Allow me to do my work, please.
But it's not calm down.
So allow me to do my work.
The salary,
but you are not the one supposed to do my work for the region.
Stop that. Calm down.
Allow me.
The salary of President Akufo-Addo 2017 to 2020 has increased by over 70%.
Which record?
No, per the committee, the emolument committee, that recently came out with this report where payment to be made to first ladies among others. Go and look at the
Government
report.
says that is false.
Please, it is not. I am saying that the salary President John Dramani Mahama was receiving when he left office, today, Akufo-Addo is taking almost twice that amount. Fact. You cannot run away from it.
But is that as a consequence of this latest emoluments committee?
Yes.
Or what Professor Dora Dubois committee?
No, this is the Professor Baidu committee report. Per the committee report. That's the record. So when workers of Ghana see that the employer is taking this amount of salary, and their salary has just been increased by only 4%.
As agreed with their leaders.
Please, it is not a question of agreement.
Their leaders agreed to
what I'm saying is that when you give them, because I knew that there was a back and forth, and government insisted on the 4, what can they do?
We are not in normal times.
It is not a question of we are not in normal times. It is the same period that the president's salary, minister's salary has increased. No, that's a fact. So let nobody, just for a minute, and so and you see, these are the critical issues. But just 30 seconds, I need to point this in proper perspective.
But Richard keeps saying that what you're saying is not correct.
It's not true.
Can Richard tell me the salary of President Akufo-Addo now? Can he tell me?
Can I give you something?
Do you know?
No, can you tell me?
Okay, so share.
Simple question.
So share.
Is it,
How much is the president's salary?
Relax, Edgy. So share the figures.
Please.
I'm allowing you to make this
Of course,
intervention.
because I'm giving you data.
Right.
I'm giving you data. In terms of the level of increment we've seen on Article 71
much
office
is the
holders.
president?
Let's mention the figure first.
Why won't you allow me to communicate? I mean, if you have the answers, give it to yourself. So allow me to communicate. From the public sector, and I'll give you that of the public sector workers and that of the Article 71 office holders from 2017 to date.
No,
that will give you a proper
How
perspective.
much is President Akufo-Addo's salary?
Hold on, Richard, sorry. It is his time. He has asked a question because you are saying what he's saying is not
I mean,
correct.
the person who is saying that he's taking twice, you did not ask him how much does President Mahama take? And how much is President Akufo-Addo taking now? And I'm giving you data that based on the information that is available.
Okay.
And this information that can be checked everywhere.
Absolutely.
And I'm telling you, it is not possible for anybody, any worker in Ghana, to have his salaries increased by 70% within the period of how many years. It's not possible. And I'm
how much does the president earn now? Right now?
Of course.
How much does the president
earn now? Some of those details I might not be able to tell you in specific.
You see,
that is why I
don't
don't
even
want to. Yes, of course. But do you know?
At the last
because
time, hold on.
Okay. So if you don't have the answer, then allow him.
President John Dramani Mahama.
Richard, it is his time. Be fair to him. Be fair to you. You had your time.
Give me the minute. Let me make a point on this. You give me a minute. Let me make a point on this. In terms of 2012,
no, I'm not looking for those figures. I'm looking for
how
much is Akufo-Addo's salary
today. If you don't have that, let him continue his time. That's the intervention I wanted you to do. Okay, so move ahead. So he doesn't have the answer now. Do you have the answer?
In fact,
how much does the president earn now?
President John Dramani Mahama was taking 27,000 was living. Today, President Akufo-Addo is taking 45.
Who gave him that increment?
Per the committee report.
But the committee,
and it has been accepted.
But the committee report, you and I know that
and back pay.
You and I know that when the emoluments committee sits to agree, it takes effect subsequently. It doesn't take effect immediately.
No,
correct?
it goes. This is in fact that is the interesting part with Article 71. It goes back. It goes back, and I'm surprised that my brother is not aware of this fact. But
I don't want us to spend all the time on this one.
I just wanted to raise something. You see, anytime this issue about worker salary coming, our friends quickly bring the issue of COVID. Please, let's stop this COVID blame. Look, within the same COVID period, we were told that government had exceeded its revenue targets. Government never said that because of COVID, they are relaxing taxes that they are taking from workers or Ghanaians. They never did. Two, within the same COVID, let's also cut our expenditure according to our means.
Are you saying nobody got any relief from government in terms of the workers? 50% insurance.
I am telling no. I am telling you that government of Ghana exceeded its revenue.
Okay.
You cannot be saying that because of COVID, you are unable to help workers, or generally the economy is bad because of COVID, and you are telling me that at the same time you have exceeded your revenue targets.
But it was rebased.
Regardless, but government of Ghana has exceeded its revenue base. Maybe he will find out how much President Akufo-Addo takes now.
Okay.
So the 4% to Ghanaian
me.
workers is without justification.
Okay.
Something ought to be done about it.
Thank you. I'll give you your time. I'll give you your time for 111 if you choose to use some for this one, because I want us to talk about 111. Yesterday, the president launched what is now being touted as, if you like, the most ambitious, the biggest investment in our health infrastructure, 111. You own an hospital as well, so you can understand this better than maybe both of us on this table. What is this supposed to achieve?
Donnie, I think I was trying to make a point, and I'll come to that. And how many minutes am I supposed to?
I'm giving you 7.
Okay, so thanks.
So
I'll
we're
use the
starting
minutes.
at 27. You end at 37.
So 28, because I mean it was already some minutes gone before it.
Reach it.
So let me deal with
27.
this. Let me deal with this matter. First and foremost, President Mahama was not taking 25,000.
I didn't say
No, it's how much did you say?
Allow him.
You said 25,000.
Allow him. Please note your
President
reservation.
Mahama was taking a little about 30,000, and yes.
No, 27.
No, it's not 27. No, not 27. It's not true. And it's still within that 30,000 range for President Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo. So that aspect about Mr. Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo salary being increased by 70% is never true. You can continue to lie to the people. You can do propaganda. You allow me my time. Allow me my time.
You are not quoting
allow my time. I've gotten the data for that. Which data document did you quote? You just spoke from your on top of your head. So now let me continue with the agenda 111.
What is it supposed to achieve?
I think agenda 111 seeks to provide parity in terms of health delivery across the length and breadth of this country. We realize that there are certain constituencies or districts or even regions, because of the creation of new regions, that do not have regional hospitals or do not have hospitals. And this seeks to bridge the gap between some of these constituencies or districts without health facilities. And I think one thing that we need to understand is that for the life of any nation, and I think perhaps this could be the greatest ever investment in health delivery in any part of the world, where a government seeks to construct 111 health facilities. And this is across districts that do not have one. And I'm telling you that, looking at this focus and what the president seeks to achieve with this, it meant that this idea about people traveling from the forgotten part of the country where they do not have health facilities to city centers and other areas to access health care, that will be the thing of the past. Where we need to struggle and move people for specialized services, all these things will be a thing of the past. The most important thing is that we need to make sure that individuals and the companies that have been given the mandate to construct these facilities will work within the time frame and make sure that at least those who are also being given the other responsibility to stock the facility with equipment will go ahead and do same. Because in all said and done, what this stands to help the nation is that, one, health delivery will be top notch. This idea about the former president, I've heard him talk up north that it was an afterthought. And I said to answer myself, what is happening with former president? And I do respect him a lot, because it hasn't been easy becoming a president and losing an election in the manner in which he lost in 2016 and coming back to 2020 and still losing beyond repairs. So some of the things that he says, you can understand the pain from which he speaks. But the point is that this is something that is captured by the MPP manifesto. So how can something that has been captured by a manifesto that we campaigned on and for which Ghanaians voted for us to come into power and we are implementing, and somebody saying that these things are an afterthought? How possible?
Let's look at the funding for the project. Where are we sourcing the funding from? Apart from the GIF 100 million initial capital that we had, there are questions that have been raised about the fact that we may have difficulty trying to find the money. Do you agree?
For difficulty, you will have raising money anyway. Even as individuals, if you want to raise money, it will be difficult for you to raise, but it's not impossible, so long as there is commitment in that regard, and government is committed in delivering on this. I remember back in opposition, when we spoke about providing free education, we were told all kinds of stories about impossibility and it not being feasible. Government cannot raise the revenues. So long as there's a will, there will always be a way to generate the revenues and generate the needed money to deal with it. In the same way that President Mahama was able to find some money to start the e-blocks, for which he completed only 27, and the MPP have completed in excess of 38. It tells you that because he believes in that policy, but the same person coming around to tell us that, oh, this thing is an afterthought, the government did not have any focus, and we are doing it in a knee-jerk reaction. No. It's a planned program. And it was first announced 2020, and processes have been put in place, including acquisition of land. That is why the president indicated that we are starting, that was yesterday, we started with 88. 88 because about 13 or so of them, the land acquisition has not been finalized because of litigation here and there. And there are various assemblies and the traditional authorities are in talks and making sure that they iron out and also deal with the fine details and make sure that whatever difficulties that confront the acquisition of those lands to help in this project is dealt with. So we know that in a long distance future, all these matters will be dealt with. I do believe that what we need to do, not to follow the cynics and the pessimists who think that nothing is impossible until they are in power. Everything is impossible, and nothing is possible for the country to achieve until they come into power. Those sort of thinking doesn't help the country. And I think that it is an audacious plan. We need to support the president. We need to support all the individuals who have been given the mandate to work on this project. When same is completed, we will know the sort of facelift it will bring to our health infrastructure.
Okay.
Because we hear of people getting involved in an accident, they need to be rushed through sometimes 30, 40 kilometers to go and access healthcare. By the time you get there, you are possibly gone. The president has shown his desire to deal with the challenges within the health sector.
Okay.
We've seen ambulance for every constituency. The president believed in that. That is why he brought the one constituency, one ambulance, or one district, one ambulance, where we are seeing that across the country. Now we are also dealing with the issue of health infrastructure, and that is being dealt with. And this includes specialized facilities. And I think that anybody who understands health knows that health is wealth. So long as we're able to have a wealthy nation, a healthy nation, we'll have a very...
The skeptics exist, perhaps, if you listen to the tone of His Royal Majesty 24822's representative yesterday at the function. He had mentioned that people are being skeptical on social media, particularly because Fomena is outstanding, Afari is outstanding, Kumewu is outstanding. And so that perhaps raises doubts in some other hospitals, the military hospital in the Ashanti region and all of that. It raises doubts that you are able to achieve this because already you have not shown them the way that you can achieve this. A story of Kwatrekwa, if you will. What do you say?
I think it would be unfair. He was raising what he has seen on social media, and he made reference to that. Oh, he hear people talk about this, people talk about this, but they believe that the president will do it, and he, so long as he has is putting the money where his mouth is, he'll be able to act on this and deliver that. And I must tell you that some of the hospitals that people talk about are all part of this Agenda 111. They are part of it. When you look at the list, I've looked at it and I've cross-checked. They are all part of it. So they are all seeing that, because you see, I've heard people talk about the president announced this in 2020. So how come we are doing it a year after? And I said that announcement, after the announcement, there was a lot of work that needed to be done. That included the acquisition of land. That included the designs, the documentation of all the various fine details that needed to be done. And all these things have been done. So now we are ready for the full hog. And we are making sure that these are delivered.
Okay. Because
that is the way forward for the country. We cannot listen to the skeptics all the time. We can listen to people who raise issues, genuine concerns. If they are constructive criticism, we embrace them. But destructive criticism, the criticism that seeks to say that until I am in power, nothing good happens. Because we are seeing the president spoke about...
Can we not look at this from we and them situation?
I'm not sure I'm looking at it.
Where the ordinary Ghanaian this morning who will be lying on the floor at Kolebu or Konfanoche or Ifian Kwanta or any other polyclinic to be delivering their baby will be asking why they don't have a bed and why you are focusing on 111, which in itself is a good project overall.
I think there's another thing I need to tell you about. I think around 2020, November thereabout, government took it upon itself to supply over 1,000 beds being distributed for the various district hospitals. So a good number of district hospitals have been augmented with additional hospital beds. Government continues to provide additional facilities. But the way the health infrastructure is, because it has been overstretched, So there ought to be constant investment in that. And I think this government has shown the way and continuously invest in that. I know that a good chunk of the hospitals, I think practically all the hospitals outside Reach, that was done by the SY Mills and Mahama administration and the University of Ghana Hospital, which was commenced by President Mills' administration. The rest of the hospitals that were completed were started by President Kufuor under the Eurogate jet project. And all these things tells you that incrementally various governments comes in and add on to whatever we have. But we are seeing a giant leap where government is making this audacious investment, making sure that at least we deal with this issue once and for all. Because you see the focus of the president since we came in, make sure that we industrialize the country. That is why you see the concept of one district, one factory being done across the length and breadth of the country. You are seeing making sure that we provide jobs for the people. You are seeing investment in education, telling you that we think that for the future generation, we need a more educated population who can contribute immensely to the national development. In terms of health, we are also making heavy investment in health. It tells you that we do believe that after all said and done, if all these individuals do not have access to quality health care, if the pregnant woman cannot be guaranteed access to good health care, and people will be transported in Okada and all kinds of things, that will not be the way forward.
Great.
So we are providing ambulance and building hospitals.
Time is up.
So that is a focused government that understand what
Thank you very much, my brother.
do with the issues that confront us.
Eduji, why are you skeptical? Because this, on the front of it, is a good initiative. 101, that's ambitious, but it is good. Imagine we have 101 hospitals up and running in addition to what is already there. Everybody will be happy. Nobody will travel. Richard won't travel outside to go and seek medical care. You won't. I won't.
Johnny, in fact, there's fundamentally nothing wrong with a vision to provide better quality health care for our people. There's nothing wrong with it. What the good people of Ghana have demonstrated that skepticism about is the discredited promise from the discredited Akufo-Addo.
Explain.
And I'll explain. Now, in 2016, the NPP in their 2016 manifesto under health promised, item 1, that they were going to build district hospitals in districts without hospital.
Right.
Now, from 2017, 2018, 2019, nothing happened. Then COVID came. Now, when COVID came, Ghanaians now started raising issues. That Mr. President, we have a pandemic. We need health infrastructure. Because ultimately, when people are sick and you use an ambulance to pick them, you're not going to provide permanent health care in an ambulance. You need to take the person to a health facility.
Right.
And that was lacking. And so if you notice, it was in the midst of COVID, in one of the presidential addresses, that he brought this issue of Agenda 88. Right. Then we reminded him that in your 2016 manifesto, you had promised that with the benefit of power, you were going to do this immediately. You have not done it. You have not demonstrated any vision, only for COVID to come. And now when COVID came, what hospitals were you relying on? Ghana East. You were relying on University of Ghana Medical Center, among other health institutions. Meanwhile, health infrastructure project commenced by the Mahama administration, you abandoned them. Formina, the Afari Hospital, and many, Bekwai, and many other hospital infrastructure projects, you abandoned it. Now, when COVID came, you are now coming to promise us that you are going to build 88. That was when the conversation of the 88, that was when it started. So it's important you put matters in perspective. Now, when the 88 agenda came, he said within a year, that was his intention to build the 88 hospital within a year.
Right. In
the midst of COVID. Then today, it's over a year since the president made that promise. And nothing has happened.
But the president's, the information minister explained that that was phase 1 where we were doing consultations, a land acquisition. There were issues with
the
it.
president.
So now, by the end of that year, it's been done. Now we're zooming into the second part, which is activation.
With the greatest respect, when the president spoke, with the greatest respect, there was water. There was no water in his mouth. The president was very clear. He said his intention is to build 88 hospitals.
Right.
Now, when they were unable to do it, they brought it into their 2020 manifesto and now enhance it from 88 to 111. Now, Johnny, if you recall, the president went to Shama and cut short for 100-bed hospital at 35 million euros. That's about $41 million.
Right.
When he cut that short last year, it's been a year now. The ground is fallow. There is nothing going on. After this show, you can take your cameraman to La General
I know
Hospital.
what's happening at La.
Fantastic. Now it's a breeding place for snakes. Nothing is going on.
Government says that project has not been abandoned. It's still in the works.
Yes, with the floor, with the ground, with glasses, grasses all over the place. I agree. That's not an abandoned project. They have not even commenced it. That aside, Koforidua, he went there, cast salt, a similar project. Nothing is going on. So what Ghanaians are saying is that, Mr. President, your own conduct of cutting sword and after the year, there is nothing ongoing. That is the sentiment the representative of Nana Santehene yesterday expressed right in front of the president. Now, you see, Johnny, if you want to see the commitment of this government, whether or not they can deliver the 1111 hospitals, it's a simple thing. The president claims that a hospital is going to cost, that is $60 million, right?
70 million rounded up.
Absolutely. Now, if you do 111 times that number, it gives you $1.68 billion to roll out that program, correct?
Right.
Now, he says you do that within 18 months, correct? Now, if you are doing 1.68 billion for 111,
over 3 budget cycles.
Oh, please.
Yes, that's correct.
That was
that's correct.
So
that's correct.
So
I'm listening to him.
18 months.
But
now,
but there are 3 budget cycles, to be fair.
No,
and
no,
the 100 million
see,
is just a startup capital.
Now, so I'm coming there.
Right.
As we speak, the president says that the initial $100 million, they are taking it from the Ghana Infrastructure Investment Fund, correct? You would recall that in 2014, when President John Dramani Mahama decided to set up the Ghana Infrastructure Fund, the MPP minority in Parliament raised the issue that why should you use 2.5% value-added tax for the Ghana Infrastructure Fund instead of pumping it into NHIS? In fact, their ranking member on health, Dr. Richard Anani also, raised that issue, and the record is there. Having said that, today, please. Today, this government is relying on proceeds from the Ghana Infrastructure Fund for the purposes of rolling out this thing. It tells you between the two leaders who is a visionary.
But it is our
leader.
money, regardless.
Why? And free SHS, is it Akufo-Addo's pocket money or his salary? What retort is that?
But it is our money, regardless.
Why do you want to claim that?
Why? But when free SHS is using his pocket, using his pocket money to do it, right?
Why are you claiming that?
It's okay.
But you see, Johnny, the point I'm making is that if you have not demonstrated any source of funding beyond the $100 million, then we are in for trouble.
So Richard says, for example, and he is the spokesperson on infrastructure, says that, look, even in our private lives, it is not easy to raise money. But whenever you have a will, there's a way. If you have a target, you achieve it. Number 2, this is a seed fund. And yesterday, Kojo Ponkroma says, let us all take an interest in Agenda 111 and support it to the best of our ability and get it done. Because once it's done, everybody will smile.
You see, Johnny,
is it a good call?
No, Johnny, if today, please,
he has
if
2
today,
minutes more than we'll wrap up.
President Akufo-Addo comes to say that, Mr. Akufo-Addo comes to say that, Ghanaians, give me 100 Ghana cedi, Momo, to build hospitals. I'll gladly do it. But this president, who even promised God to build him a cathedral, It's now coming back to us to give him 100 Ghana cedis to build a cathedral he promised God.
Voluntarily. Nobody is forcing
So
you.
I am saying that. So I am saying that. No, but that is his personal vow.
But
so why can't he do it personally?
I mean,
I am not saying that. That is why I said
if you don't believe in it,
that is why I'm saying that if the church I attend, the pastor and the church members have been able to put up a building. I don't need to go to any other place. But the point I'm making is that, Johnny, if you have a situation where the president's priority is a cathedral, for which reason he is asking Ghanaians voluntarily to give 100 Ghana cedis by way of donation, I am thinking that if he means war, let him come back to the good people of this country and say, look, give me 100 Ghana cedis to enable me build the health infrastructure project that will ultimately benefit us. Johnny, before I leave.
The cathedral won't benefit us.
Cathedral?
Yes.
Where do you fellowship?
I'm an Anglican.
Don't you have a church building?
We need a national cathedral. That's what the president says.
Action Chapel, Duncan Williams, has he not been able to build? Pastor Dag Heward Mills, has it not? So are Christians lacking? Please, are Christians lacking a place of worship in terms of priority?
Okay.
Now, but you see, 30 seconds.
Okay. Richard, I want us to have it one at a time. I want us to have one at a time.
30 seconds.
I want us to have the conversation one at a time, please. Yes.
What that I'm saying is that this president lacks credibility when it comes to rolling out infrastructure projects.
Have seen
he does not have.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much.
No, but you see, Johnny, you allow him to interact me. I asked you for 30
I'm sorry, Richard, please.
He is the government spokesperson on infrastructure.
Don't do that.
No,
he on this platform indicated that
sorry,
the Mahama administration only built 26 day schools. That's not correct. Even your own Minister of Education, Napo, indicated that by the time he came, 41 of those schools have been built.
No, that's not true.
I saw
That's the
something.
record.
No, that's not true. You completed
As the spokesperson on infrastructure, you need to address
I'm
yourself.
saying that you
Equip
completed
yourself.
27.
41 from your own minister.
If you had money, you say you're building 200. You
Your own
claim that
minister.
you have the foresight.
And there were others at the various stages of completion. You know.
Thank you.
That money.
Thank you. Let's take a look at this video quickly.
Agenda
Now, this is what President Akufo-Addo said in January 2017, and I like his style because since Ghana began, we have never had a president who would say, I'm appointing Richard Asante-Yeboah, these are his credentials, this is what I want him to do. Honorable Kweku Agyeman-Manu is still our Minister for Health. He was appointed in 2017, he's done one term. Yesterday I saw him there even though he was on leave, and I think that he likes his job. Now, this was the mandate given to the health minister in January 2017. I don't think it has changed. Take a look.
Very articulate, very insightful. Done a very good job recently as chairman of the Public Accounts Committee of Parliament. He's a well-known economist and an accountant by training. I believe that for us to have a successful health delivery system, we need to come to grips once and for all with finding a sustainable financial base for the operation of our national health insurance scheme. The technical issues involved in what kind of health delivery should be provided, that argument is there. But if at the base we don't find that sustainable financial platform for the operation of the National Health Insurance Scheme, it will continue to suffer the difficulties that it has over these last years. Long-standing arrears of settling bills for health providers, for being able to pay health workers on time sufficiently. The issue of the restoration of training allowances for our trainee nurses. All of these have been essentially financial issues. So I believe that if we can have a person there who has a very good eye as how to balance the books and how to make the necessary investments that will make our health system viable, and therefore be able to build on this extraordinary social legacy that J. Kufuor gave the country in the National Health Insurance Scheme. For me, it's an extremely important part of the agenda that we have. So I've chosen to lead the health sector. I was not a doctor, but who I believe has sufficient understanding of the issues to be able to be comfortable with the medical profession. Man of very great respect, tolerance. He's not somebody who will walk into a room and say, my view is the only view that matters. He will listen. But when he makes up his mind that this is the way to go, he's extremely firm about it. And I think this is exactly the right kind of material to be a minister. So Kwaku Ajiman Menu, the Member of Parliament of the West Central, is the man that I'm recommending to the House.
All right, so that's the president, Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo, on sometime early January 2017, naming his health minister. And at the base of that, he said, we're looking for financial sustainability, how to raise money to support a viable health system. Richard, so now the question is, we're talking about funding for Agenda 111 and all of that. Is it your view that this financial sustainability, which will create this viability, and he says, the president says, it will help to support whatever infrastructure that's put in place. Is it your view that we are on course? Because now we're talking where to look for money to fix this Agenda 111.
I think when President spoke about the sustainability, from that clip you just shown, the focus was on the National Health Insurance.
That's right.
But he equally roped in health infrastructure. I saw that we needed to deal with that, because you see, that's why sometimes I get worried with the kind of politics we do in this country. Because what it is that we as political actors know that there are various issues that confront our health sector. The the National Health Insurance Scheme as a scheme ought to be sustainable, where when you are a card bearer, you can go to any health facility that have been accredited by the scheme, and they would receive you with joy and provide you with health services.
Right.
That can only happen when the people, after providing service to the individuals and they send their bills to the scheme, they are promptly paid. If it delays, it means that there will be challenge in terms of accepting that. And then people will find a way of extorting money or taking money from this card bearer because the hospital needed to run. So President spoke about the fact that we need to find a proper means of dealing with this situation.
Right.
And I think that
to raise money.
To raise money. I think that we've seen a better system being run. It is still not up to what we all look for. But in terms of what they do now, it is far better than what we were seeing previously. In terms of the number of months that you'll be owed, sometimes close to a year and all that. Now you're seeing 3 months, 6 months here and there. You could come down to a month. It all needs to be how to find a proper means of dealing with that. Now the issue of health infrastructure.
Is it your view that, for example, if we had run the NHI as well, like the president had envisioned, while putting Mr. Jimamenu there, who he himself admits that he's not a doctor but is a finance or accounts person, if we had dealt with it properly, we won't be talking about where to look for money to do Agenda 111.
I mean, no matter what you say, every project or program that you would want to implement as a state, you need to contemplate where you get revenues from, money from, to deal with that. But you see, we have a mirage of issues in the kitty, and each of them are begging for solution. So long as those confront you, you need to deal with them. You have education. Now we are talking about wages. We are here talking about salaries of staff that you want it to be increased. We are talking about providing road infrastructure. We are seeing roads being done. We are talking about educational infrastructure. There are moments that you even communicate privately about schools that you think they have issues that need to be dealt with. All these issues will be begging for attention, and government need to deal with them as and when they come. Or some of them, we know that they are systemic issues or problems, and those systemic challenges or failures that we have in the system, we ought to deal with them with the pragmatic steps. So long as all
that's
these
why
are
the president put the minister there, because he believed that the minister could get that done.
I can tell you, when you are running a government, you run it like as you look at yourself as an individual. No matter the salary you take as a person, there are issues and things within your life that you need to stretch extra, or sometimes do other. I mean, galamsey here and then, not the normal galamsey, but I'm talking about
moonlighting.
Of course,
moonlighting.
to be able to raise, raise additional funding
before
to support
somebody comes
your life.
to hold your neck.
So, in that regard, it tells you that in the government setup, every year you are looking at this amount of revenue that needs to be raised. Within the COVID period, government lost total of 11 billion cedis in terms of revenue that government could not get.
But you said you achieved your target.
When you talk about achievement of a target, because of the projection we did before COVID, government knew that indeed what is going on meant that we will not be able to meet that, so we need to revise it.
Right.
So the revised version, government was able to achieve it, but it still meant that the original plan, we lost 11 billion. Nothing changed, but we spent more. The extra expenditures we saw was that before COVID, nobody's child was being given nose masks. Veronica bucket schools were not being provided with. They were not being provided with all the temperature monitoring and all the things that we saw the government needed to foot it.
Okay.
So in every step of the way, we realize that there will be events that will require additional money that need to be generated. And that is you can look at from your own life, that there are things that you have not budgeted for. You are things that you are not anticipating, but to come in, when it comes in, it is extremely important that you need to deal with it. It's like you wake up, you know you have an iron, and the iron is broken the next morning.
Okay.
Have you planned for iron, penetration of iron within that?
Let's read.
So this
let's
is
read a
how
few messages. I'll come to
countries are being run. But you see, what I want to round up by saying is that, as a country, there are a lot of good things and positives in this country. We cannot allow politics to blind us, and we continuously see even negatives in the midst of the positives that are happening. We cannot undermine and criticize and be so cynical about everything that is being done by government. I tell you, if you ask my brother, if he should tell you 20 things, positive things that MPB has done, he will take nothing to say. He will not say anything, because you know why?
Are you sure?
Because of course he will not say anything. He will tell you things that are negative. Some of them are not even negative, but because of propaganda and the mischief, he will try and marry negativity into it. What you need to understand is that those things do not help the nation.
But
because
you do it to
all
yourself.
the things that they say, all the
you
negative
do it
things
to
that they
yourself.
say, the people went to the election 2020. They looked at all the things you've been saying, and said, you know what, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, we trusted you with 4 years, and based on what you have achieved, the success stories, we are giving you additional mandate for 4 years. Go out there and achieve more. And the president is building hospitals, building factories, and we are seeing the sort of infrastructure. The economy is booming, the economy is growing, because you see, when we came in, the kind of things that we saw inflation at 15%. Thereabout percent. Now what is inflation? 7-8%.
If people don't have their
if
people don't have money in their pockets, if people don't have money in their pockets, can they spend? Thank you. Thank you. It's okay. No, it's not 10 minutes.
Now not terrible form. But now we see a system being run by competent minds, and we are seeing the success story.
Thank you.
And we are being applauded by all over.
I think Richard came with his own script, because if you ask him a question, then he starts going
10 minutes.
No, it's not 10 minutes.
I'm not going to dwell on the negative stories. When there are not negative stories.
Okay, welcome. Let's read a few messages, and then we will come to
Agenda 111 is a good policy, but our maintenance is poor. Look at other hospitals and clinics that we already have. We have bed issues. Some people are sleeping on the floor. So let's check our schedule on maintenance. My name is George Osei Entry from Bogoso. I have a problem with the Agenda 111 new hospitals to be constructed. Why doesn't the government rather complete, why won't the government rather complete those that are left to rot and rather construct new ones? Civil society must rise, or else we are paying taxes for COVID-19. Dr. Ekum from Boko sent in that one. This one says, I'm surprised the president says until the upsurge of COVID-19, the government of Ghana wasn't aware that several districts and communities in the country did not have hospitals. God help us. KJ from Koforidua sent in that one. Good morning, Johnny, and to your cherished viewers. It will interest you to note that even where the sword will be cut, there won't be a single completed hospital built in that area. Triddle sent this yesterday as well. The Agenda 111 is probably the most audacious project ever to be conceived. This shows a visionary leader who has Ghana at heart. We should all roll up our sleeves and support this initiative. Well done to the president. Kofi Ajiman on the Spintex Road sent in that one. Good morning to you, TV3. Please, when Eduji was talking about the president's salary increase, Richard said it was not true. Now they asked Richard to bring the truth and he said he cannot tell. Please and please, Johnny, some of us, your listeners, are paying critical attention to factual presentation and honesty from your platform. Efo Koku from Akachi sent in that one. Good morning, Team 3. Richard keeps distracting the program unnecessarily. We are listening and he should respect us. Efo Koku again with that one. Walanyo in Akwetia says, aggrieved public sector workers are demonstrating because of the salary increment. So do they think by demonstrating their demands will be met automatically? I can't think far. Agenda 111 has come to stay. Let us embrace it to the fulfillment by faith and hope. Doubting Thomases will see it live and colored. Happy birthday to you, Eliasu in Tamale. Good morning, Johnny. What happened to the sword cuttings President Nanado did in 2020? Was that for the cameras? Ghanaians are no more interested in what the government does, and that is a bad precedent. Kofi from Tema sent in that one. Eja Adam Enyam Maim says, they said Akufo-Addo would never be president. He became president. You said free education was a pipe dream. He has implemented it with style. You think he can't build 111 hospitals? Dream on.
Well, we're awake. And Ambassador Sampiyale says, Johnny, some time ago the president announced that he and his vice president were paying a percentage of their salaries for the public good. May I know how much they have accrued? Richard, if the free high school without textbooks and good accommodation, etc., is what your government promised, then please take it back then. Things are possibly only if the people trust in the process of the government. Richard, did you say the ambulances were truly ordered by the NPP government? Johnny, kindly show him the picture of the Kolibu surgical ward, where I don't have the picture here. And it says hospitals are built with money, not with the will of the people. I need to quickly make this intervention. The Ntiamwa report regarding the emoluments. So the president presently takes 29,899. In 2017, that I'm reading what it reads here. In 2017, President took 35,520. In 2018, it's 39,072. In 2019, it is 42,979. And in 2020, it is 47,277. Points awarded is 120. Vice President had 29,600 in 2017, 35,560 in 2018, 35,860 in 2019 and 39,397 in 2020. That's also 100 points. Now, a cabinet minister, as of the last time we checked, cabinet minister who is MP earns 33,270. A cabinet minister who is not an MP earns 32,832. A minister of state who is an MP earns 30,664. A minister of state who is a non-MP earns 30,206. A regional minister who is an MP earns 30,644 per month. A regional minister who is a non-MP earns 29,768. A deputy minister who is an MP earns 29,768. A deputy minister who is an MP earns 28,760. It goes on and on. I could give you the list, but this is what it is now. So presently, the President of the Republic, per the Ntiamwa Committee, earns 47,277. So that's the detail there.
Independently verified.
So Ntiamwa report.
You see, Johnny.
Sometimes you can be mischievous, so I want to be very strong.
Are you being serious?
Of course, you can be very mischievous.
Johnny,
you're my brother, and sometimes
I know.
very
you see, Johnny, when I was watching...
No, allow me to ask my question.
Okay.
Why do you want to...
Because you soon tell me that time is up.
So now you saw the president and the health minister. The president had a vision. Make NHIS better. Let's rake in more money. and use that to support the health infrastructure and other things to make a viable health system. That was the president's vision, and he gave that mandate to Honorable Kwajima Menu to go and achieve that for him. Even he acknowledges the man is not a doctor. 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020, 2021. Now, Agenda 111 is here. We're looking for where to find money. Is it your view that if we had followed the president's vision as he had it then, we wouldn't be here talking about where to find money to achieve such a laudable idea?
You see, Johnny, there was never a vision in the first place.
How do you say that?
What we had was slogans. And our president believes that he can hoodwink Ghanaians with the benefit of sloganeering. Nothing more, nothing else. Look, Johnny, and I found it extremely discomforting that yesterday the president in the company of the health minister never took the opportunity to even rebuke him publicly, okay, for undermining and violating the procurement law, the Constitution, 1992. Do you know who administered the oath of office and gave him his mandate, the Minister of Health? It was the president.
But the matter is before Parliament.
No, please,
I think that we should allow the matter to die natural death in Parliament.
No, Johnny, this is a committee of Parliament. The report is already out, and I have it here. It's dated August 26th.
But they have not taken
Agenda 111.
Hold on, but they have not taken a decision.
No, the point I'm making.
But they have not taken a decision.
Oh,
and how
Johnny.
is that connected to
relax?
Relax. How is that connected to raising funds to achieve a sustainable and viable health system? How?
Johnny, a man who can decide to violate the laws of this country, and the president gives him a thumbs up. That is Ghanaians who are rather worrying the minister in his bono hafotor. You read it. The point I'm making is that, look, when a minister misconducts himself in this manner, the president, who is the appointing authority, must demonstrate that, one, he does not support that conduct.
I'm looking for the relevance.
No. I'm coming here. The reason why I'm dovetailing this one is that, you see, this is a president who had decided to take everything for granted. He doesn't care. If he did, at least he would have demonstrated enough commitment relative to some of these projects. The Agenda 111 is supposed to be an initiative of the president, correct? Look, even the Bible, even the Bible says, before you put up anything, at least you look at the cost, benefit, and everything before you come out.
Right.
The president by now should know that you don't need 100 million Ghana cedis to build 111 hospitals.
But there will be 3 budget cycles.
You see, Johnny,
Richard, allow me, please.
Last year, when the president cast out for over 6 hospital projects, why he didn't know that we were going to have budget cycles? He has no plans. He's just doing everything in an ad hoc manner.
Okay.
See, I would wish that tomorrow we have hospitals like Ghana East.
Thank you.
We'll have University of Ghana Medical Hospital.
A Deputy National Communications Director of the NPP and also lawyer Godwin Eduji Tamaklo is a member of the NDC's legal and communications team.